All right, to start out, the two main muscles for flight are what and what? I wouldn't expect you to know both of them, but I would expect you to know one of them. You're saying it? Yep.
I don't know, it's like super complicated, yeah.
You know, I'll take that because you're getting the hard one out of the way first. Okay? Supracoracoideus, that would be the tough one. So if that's the muscle, what does it do?
Raises the wings.
It raises the wings. Okay? So you're correct when you say that. The coracoideus raises the wing. No, that's one of them things. If you could say that fast 3 times. I'm not even going to try because I don't think I can. That's not one of them things to where I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. I don't know. But it'd be just a tough muscle to say. So if the supracoracoideus is the muscle that raises the wings, well then what pulls them down?
The locomotor, right?
Well, those, when we say locomotor muscles, that just means a group that would possibly do a specific function. Well, you're not entirely wrong when you say that. What are these muscles right here in human? Yeah, the pectoral muscles. So then they will pull the wings down, but the supracoracoideus also pulls down. But why is that possible that this action takes place? Why does it raise the wing? Because what did we illustrate yesterday? That drawing really wasn't that bad with the wing, with the cross section. Yeah, or the A-frame as well, if you want to call it that. Even though it's being pulled down, it wraps itself around the head of the humerus. So even though it's pulling down, it's still going to raise the wing. Okay, so moving forward then, just like we said, because of this rope and pulley, it wraps around the head of the humerus, just like what we said. Both of these, okay, are needed for flight. They're both in the chest. They move in the same direction, but have different functions. Okay? And one of the reasons for this is when they're Gesundheit. No, you're fine. You're fine. Since they're in the same area and the same movement is going to take place, the stability is going to be improved. Okay, so the digestive system of birds, okay? I was trying to think of how to ask this. It says, no taste buds. Well, they really don't need them for one. And since they don't have any taste buds, they don't have this either, okay? So when we think of salivary glands in the mammalian mouth, can anyone take a guess what that amylase actually starts to break down? Just think about that while you're writing this down. And again, there's no rhyme or reason why that's blue. Maybe I just marked where left off for some various reason or another. But does anyone know what salivary glands, saliva or salivary glands do? Of course, they secrete saliva. But if that's the case, let's see here. We have, okay, so we have mini corn dogs today. So the small, I want to call it the dog portion or the hot dog portion of that, is mainly composed of protein. So taste buds and salivary glands are not going to have any function for that. But the breading around the mini corn dogs, salivary glands, would have a function in. So when you talk about the breading, what type of substance is that? Is it a lipid? Is it a fat? Is it a protein? Is it a carbohydrate? Or is it a nucleic acid, do you think? You are exactly right. What other aspects could be carbohydrates, like chips, potato chips, okay, potato salad, of course, potato chips, we just said that. Those are going to have those types of substances in there, and that amylase, which is in saliva, would start to break that down. But they lack these salivary glands. One, nature selected them not to have salivary glands, but you might be asking yourself, when you think of birds, their main diet is going to be what or what, do you think? Okay, so corn, yes, and then what was the other one?
Worms.
Okay, that you're right, that's not what I was thinking. We could actually say three. I was thinking the raptors with rabbits and other birds, but worms works just as well because that's a different type of, well, I say being a heterotroph or what's the right word I'm looking for? Carnivore. That's what I was trying to think of. Okay, for some reason that wasn't coming in my mind. So with that, when you talk about corn, yes, there's lots of starch in there, but the main portion of the digestion does not take place in the next place this goes, which is the crop. Okay, that's just a storage tank. So these birds have no reason to have amylase in their mouth to break some of these substances down. Yes, they might eat seeds, but it would not be until later on down into their what's called a proventricularis. I believe that's one of your vocab terms as well. Now, a pharynx. Do humans have this as well for both respiratory and digestion? Yes. We've all been there where you're about ready to take a drink of something and you might inhale when somebody tells you something funny, or you're just breathing in at the same time you're trying to swallow something. Or if you are salivating in the mouth, like you're walking through the dinner line and you see, oh good, they've got this in the salad bar. What might that be? Is there anything that sticks out in your mind that I'm glad they've got that? Yeah. Okay? So then your mouth might start watering. Okay? When we say watering, it's producing lots of saliva. So you are so excited sitting down, you're about ready to consume your potato salad, and it's just your normal respiration. There's lots of saliva in your mouth. As you inhale, some of that saliva goes to the back of your mouth, down into your trachea. What happens? You cough a lot because it's a type of response that says there's something in our trachea that just does not belong there. Okay? So then, same thing here in birds, the respiratory system and the digestive system has a type of tube that's for both functions. Same as in mammals, same as in humans. Let's see here. I want to get through the gizzard yet. Okay. Then we'll be through the main portion of the digestive system in birds. So one of the things to think about is when Archaeopteryx first showed up, when it comes to digestion, what did it have that modern birds don't have? So this was a reptilian characteristic of Archaeopteryx when it comes to that of digestion? Where would digestion begin in mammals and humans?
Or your mouth.
Yeah, in your mouth. So what was significant about that Archaeopteryx? Had something significant about its mouth that was reptilian. When you look at Jerry, okay, is Jerry lacking something that the Archaeopteryx had with its mouth?
Teeth.
Yeah, exactly, teeth. So what has to happen is, what is the function of teeth, do you think? Well, to chew, yeah, well, your jaw is doing that, but having teeth does what to your potato salad? Or, yeah, it starts to increase that surface area. You're biting, you're chewing, so something very, very large, okay? Let's say you took all the breading off of your mini corn dog. Your mouth is already watering, isn't it? So is it ketchup or is it ranch for your, okay?
I mix it together.
The ketchup and the ranch?
Yeah, you should try it. It's really good. It's actually pretty good. Ranch. Yeah. They make ketchup and ranch together. Yeah, they sell it at the store. And like mayo.
You can't make that up.
Nope. And there's also ketchup and mayo. Yeah, we dip
See,
chips.
that I get, but the ketchup and the ranch?
How do you get the ketchup and the mayo, but not the ketchup and the ranch?
Because you do that on a hamburger.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you ever dip chips in ketchup and mayo?
No, I don't do that.
You dip your Doritos in it.
Okay, but anyway,
I dip my chips.
okay. You take all the breading off of your,
I used to put mayo in my mac and cheese. Ew.
that doesn't sound as different, but anyway, you take that mini corn dog, and providing that you're not going to choke, okay, you swallow that whole thing. It's not that it's a bad idea, but why would it be a bad idea beyond the concept that you could choke on it? Okay, that hasn't happened. It gets down into our stomach as humans. What's the problem with that?
It's not broke down.
You're exactly right. Why?
Because you would chew it.
Yeah, because when you chew it, you're breaking up into smaller bits. You're increasing that surface area. Well, the birds don't have that. They don't chew their food. Jerry, he certainly doesn't. So nature had selected two things that actually happen. Either one, they'll regurgitate their food like these do. Eagles will do that as well, but that's if they're feeding their young. But what also happens is birds have this structure that's only unique to birds as far as digestion, that no other animal has. And it's something that one of the young men in here said, these are good. That's right, gizzards. Okay, so what compensates for the lack of teeth is this guy right here, the gizzard. Okay, it's the region for digestion and grinding food. Because what happens is that actually churns inside of there. One of the things that you'll see is, and we asked this question, I choose not to plow over a group of birds when they're on the side of the road. Yes, I get it that they fly, but I'll try to slow down and not hit them. But there's a specific reason they're on the side of the road where gravel is. Why would they be taking in gravel, do you think? It's going to end up in their gizzard.
Don't grind them.
Yes, exactly, because when them rocks are coming in contact with one another, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to start grinding up that food because they don't have teeth, just like what you had just mentioned, okay? They don't have teeth to chew, so you have to have something that breaks that down even further, because otherwise they're not going to get a lot out of their diet. Okay, so this is similar to what it would be a stomach in humans, okay? But with digestion, what happens is food goes in through a crop, then it goes into this structure where it comes in contact with this gastric juice. It would be hydrochloric acid for us. I suppose you could say the same thing. And then eventually goes down into the gizzard where that food can then get pulverized. How many of you have field dressed a pheasant or a chicken or anything to that nature? You find odd or strange things in that gizzard. One, oddly enough, I remember finding a dime. A chicken actually had a dime go through there, and it was in their gizzard. Yeah, I know. And the only reason that would help with digestion, it actually has the ridges on the side, but otherwise, as far as pulverizing, it's a flat type of structure that really isn't going to do much for grinding things apart. But anyway, we will continue with talking about the rest of the digestion and get on to circulation on Friday and Monday. And next week, we'll probably have one of the vocabulary evaluations, because there's 2 pages of vocabulary on here. Okay, so that's all we have for today. Oh, one of the things I wanted to ask is, what's the problem for people growing turkeys and chickens now? It's been in the local and national news.
Mine keep dying. Animals keep eating them.
Not so much that. Humans, we are unfortunately having to kill birds, euthanize them. Okay, that would be the common name. What's a better name for that? What class are we talking about here? This chapter starts with an A.
Aves.
Yeah, so the avian flu is somehow getting from one farm to another. So it's got to be carried by wild birds, which is really unfortunate, because once that's found in a population, it just will spread through. And they have to do this. They have to euthanize all of them, and that's really rather unfortunate. But anyway, we'll catch up to you next time.